Welcome to Reddit Reads r/ProRevenge. Our first Reddit post is from Chuck It Bucket. So I recently had a run-in with Ups. I posted this to Petty Revenge, but it got removed and I was told to post it here. Enjoy. Ups smashed a nearly new MacBook that I sent with them. I asked them nicely to pay me back for it, and they arsed about blaming my packaging, saying it was impossible, they damaged it, etc. I was able to prove my packaging was flawless and get a statement from the Apple shop that I took it to say it was damage caused by being dropped thrown. I could also prove it worked when I sent it. They weren't interested and messed me about for weeks, sending me from pillar to post, even threatening to make me pay interest on customs charges which I wasn't liable for as the laptop was smashed on arrival and thus worthless at import. I took it to small claims. They hired a lawyer who sent me letters saying they contested it and would go for full fees, etc. if I lost. I went for it anyway. I did law stuff university, so I knew the basics, and I thought my case was pretty clear-cut. I won my costs back, plus extra plus interest. They ignored the court order and did not pay. Now, this laptop was originally being sent to my beloved mother-in-law. She asked me to help her with the problem as Ups were also seriously harassing her for the customs fees. However, very unexpectedly, before I could resolve it, she passed away. It was the last thing she ever asked me to do for her. I loved that woman more than pretty much any human on this planet. She was my mother, my best friend, and my mentor. Taking down Ups was now my personal vendetta. I researched my options. I could have taken the usual more conservative legal routes to reclaim my money. But no, fuck them. I don't care about the money anymore. I want revenge, I want drama, I want karmic justice. I went to the High Court. I got a writ of control. I, of course, added on more fees and more interest. I then hired the most aggressive bailiff firm in London. I trusted that the shitty processes and attitude of Ups to mean they would ignore the letters and actually get a visit. They did. The bailiffs rock up at Ups headquarters and explain the situation. Ups refused to pay, so the bailiffs start listing goods. Security try to make them leave. The office manager tries to bully them out. Obviously no shits are given by the bailiffs, and they crack on with their jobs. I was allowed the body cam footage, but they did send me a detailed report. The final conclusion is copied from it below. Calls were then made to the accounts manager, who arrived in a hurry. As no payment was forthcoming from them, the agent again explained the removal process and costs involved and called the office for approval to begin removals. The agent began to seize assets. The finance director then arrived on the scene. He was not at all happy about the attendance, but ultimately agreed to pay a voluntary payment in full from his personal account in order to stop the removal. I know it's a drop in the ocean to Ups, but I got more than double what I originally asked for to replace the laptop. They would have had to pay even more on top in fees to the bailiffs. I reckon it cost them at least threes more than the original claim in the end. But mostly I just enjoy the mental image of the flustered finance director and his impotent rage, having to pay his own money to stop the heavies taking desktop computers and fancy pot plants and things out of their swanky head office lobby. Edit, this blew up. Thanks for all the awards. I can't keep up with them, but don't spend real money on me. I have no idea what it does. This comment is from Wirrels Nolioperts. Fantastic. Well played. That body cam footage would've been priceless. This comment is from Gertrude the Curious. This is great. I did similar to Southwark Council. They put 2 penalty notices on my motorbike, which was parked in a pay and display bay with the ticket displayed in a second tax disc holder. So legally parked. The first notice blew away, didn't know about it. I got the second and appealed with pictures of the ticket displayed and proof I was legally parked. Then I got a summons for the ticket that blew away. I had to go to court to explain the situation. It's illegal to put 2 penalty notices on one vehicle if it hasn't moved. It still took the council over 9 months of fighting to cancel both tickets, and wasn't the first time I'd been through this process with other councils. So I invoiced them for my time. And when they didn't pay for my wasted time, I think the invoice was for $250 in 2007, I took them to the small claims court and won. I had to threaten to send in the bailiffs, but I got paid in the end. This comment is from Doshka. Sounds like that couple a while back that foreclosed on the bank. Now a word from today's sponsor. Make sure to donate to my Patreon down in the description below to get early access to videos, participate in special patron-only events, and other goodies. Any amount of money is greatly appreciated. It makes it easier for me to make the content that I love making, and I know you guys love too. Now back to the video. Our next Reddit post is from Mizzen. Roommate thought she was sneaky. Ended up owing me $400 and got suspended. This is a long one, Tulger is below. So this happened my second semester dorming at my college campus. I had met my roommate at orientation and could kind of already tell she was going to be a pain in my ass. And I was right about that. I had planned on moving rooms to be closer to some friends the next semester. But let me get to the story that led to my revenge. On our campus, you had to pay for meals using your student ID, which had a certain amount of money on it each semester. You could also use an app that you put your name and ID info into, and it makes it easier to pay. But the name and ID must match for it to work, which will be important later. Any funds from the fall semester would roll over into the spring, but then at the end of spring it would just expire. Because of this, and because I only ate once or 2 a day, I had a ton saved up on my card. My roommate, on the other hand, did not. So I offered to pay for some of her meals from time to time in trade of her picking up the food for us, which involved her using my card twice in person, and then she'd return it. Then, one day, I noticed on my app that my card was being charged even when I was not ordering food, and not just a meal, like a meal for several people. This meant that whoever was ordering, I wonder who either had to have stolen my ID card, which I had in my pocket when I got the charge, or was impersonating my info in the app, which are both big no-nos on my campus. I was quick to put 2 and 2 together and was pretty pissed. I was initially going to confront her on it, but decided to formulate a plan instead. That day, I went and ordered a seconded card for $25 to use for later, as it took a couple of weeks to get the new one. I let her charge several things to my card over a good 2 weeks, for her and her friends, and she wasn't very good at hiding it either, as they would come to our dorm and eat, while I just screenshot and sent emails to the support team of the app about the charges, knowing nothing would get done until I contacted someone in person. And one day it got even better, as you can buy groceries with the card off campus as well. She decided to pay for alcohol with my card, which doesn't get pinged as an issue on my card due to me being over 21, but she was only 19. Not sure how she got it, but it was just the thing to finally act on my plan. I put my best sad face on and contacted the head of campus living and head of my dorm about the charges on my account. I dropped some hints that it could be my roommate and mentioned I got a new ID and asked what I should do. I was told to order a new card, and once I got it, to deactivate my current ID and use the new one for purchases now, making my old ID have a balance of 0, and also to ping if someone uses it to buy anything. They also told me they would be visiting my dorm to discuss the issue with my roommate. I accepted that and waited. They sent the confirmation email that they would be visiting, and I just decided to add more fuel to the fire. My roommate was groaning about not having the funds for food in front of me in our dorm. I told her I really couldn't help her as I was running low on funds, and she kind of just laughed it off and left the room to probably go use my old ID. I deactivated my first card right after she left, and surprise, surprise, she used my info to pay. except when she tried to pay for her and her friends this time. It was declined and it pinged that my ID was used. Campus security was called and she was escorted back to our dorm. Pretty much perfect timing for our meeting with campus living. She was scared shitless when they came to the dorm to talk and look through her stuff. On her phone, still logged into the app, was my ID information and name. And in her dorm closet was a half-full bottle of cheap vodka. And on my phone was a screenshot of said unauthorized vodka purchase. In the end, she was forced to pay me back, which I also could have charged her for out of school. In the end, I got to have my own dorm for the remainder of that semester, and even part of the semester after, because it wasn't put as an available room for new dormers. I did get all my money back from her parents, who were so embarrassed and apologized profusely. And when she did eventually come back to campus, no one wanted to dorm with her because they knew she had stolen her roommate's ID. I think in the end she rented off campus. Her dorm roommate thought she could get away with identity theft, but got busted for stealing and alcohol possession. This comment is from a Tom Skeeter. The timing of her leaving to get food, you going boop deactivated, and dorm officials coming to visit is so perfect. Definitely some kind of combo multiplier for bonus points there. This comment is from Mizzen. I actually took a chance deactivating it when I did. However, I egged her on by bringing my food back to the dorm room when I knew she'd be in there, a favorite food. When she complained she was hungry, I knew she was about to do it again because she thought she was getting away with it. This comment is from Nijajimantho. Not all of the stories on this sub are deserved or enjoyable to read, but this absolutely checked both of those boxes. Good for you. That was Reddit Reads r/ProRevenge. If you like this content, please subscribe and click the bell icon so you are notified of new uploads. We upload new videos every day. Also subscribe to our Patreon, as that will help us a lot. See you next time.